This was only a small meet of classic cars, it was mainly a vintage tractor event, but a good excuse to take the TR out for a blast. The TR7 was styled by Harris Mann, who was head of the styling studio at Longbridge, and this was the rather stunning style that Harris came up with, and as he's often said, all the engineering specifications were laid out, engine, gearbox, where the bulkheads were going to be, so putting a body on all that was just like putting clothes on a mannequin. On our way to Kit Hill we met up with this very smart white Spitfire 1500. The owner restored this car himself in 2012 and it really is as good as it looks here when you see it in the metal. Great little cars, the Spitfire Mark IV and 1500, styled in-house at Canley by John Ashford and Les Moore, who updated Michelossi's original style and incorporated the rear end of the Stag into the new Spitfire design. Really helped sales in America, where they upped the price by 15%, and I believe it was the first time from then they were actually making money on any Spitfire they sold. This one is a Rover P2. The P2 was produced between 1937 and 1948. It was a range of cars within the same shell, and this particular model is the Rover 12, but there was also the Rover 10, 14, 16 and 20. Around 16,500 P2s were made, and of those only 200 were the Sports Tourer convertible body style, so it was a rare car in 47 and it's even rarer today. But it is quite amazing what turns up at some of these shows in Cornwall, because I was at the massive Rover Fest last year and I didn't see one of these. Plenty of P2s, but I didn't see a Sports Tourer. And this one is in very fine fettle too, thus preserving a little piece of the great Rover company's illustrious history for the future. The Triumph Dolomite was a facelift of the original 1300-1500 shell, carried out in-house by Dave Keepax with the assistance of Giovanni Michelossi, who joined him for a week at Canley. This one was parked up for many years and was rescued by its present owner. It had been stored outside against a wall, and evidence of this can be seen in the paintwork. But he is doing a fabulous job of restoring it. He's fashioning all the repair panels necessary to turn this into a fantastic car, and it's a pretty rare model today, although a huge seller back in its time. And talking of huge sellers, the Morris Marina. This one is the TC, which stands for twin carburettor, and the owner actually had this one up for sale. This is a Morris Marina.
It is.
Tell me which model it is.
It's a Marina TC 1.8.
It's up for sale at the moment, isn't it?
It is.
How long have you had it?
3 years.
3 years. And what prompted you to buy a Morris Marina?
I had them back in the day when they were in vogue, as it were.
And we had a discussion earlier, they were quite a successful car, weren't they?
Mechanically, they were all right. Yeah.
How many do you reckon we sold?
I don't know. A figure of 1.4 comes into my mind, but
Yeah, 1.4 million, I think.
I did research it, but I've forgotten about it.
And this is the fastback version, isn't it?
Coupe officially.
And how well does it drive?
Very well. Yeah, it's not a racing car, never meant to be, was it?
Very true. It was a hugely popular car in its day.
That's right.
What's it out for sale for?
3,750.
3,750. And it's pretty immaculate.
Not too bad.
Well, it looked very good to me, and I can also confirm that the interior, like a lot of these cars from the 70s, is very well appointed and very, very comfortable. Another rare model is next, and this one comes from the Austin stable. What model of Austin is this?
It's a Ripley Sports.
So someone else bodied it today, is that?
No, it's built by Austin. They only built 120, but it wasn't a particularly good seller. The Austin 7 Sports sold a lot better than what they expected with that.
And how long have you had it?
Since about 1984.
And was it something you always wanted?
No, I just fell across it by accident. It was a hedge case.
And it obviously didn't look like that when you found it.
No, complete and utter wreck. Should never have been restored, really. Only because it was rare that I restored it.
And how many are left?
Possibly a dozen.
Oh.
But there's only half a dozen on the road. The rest are basket cases.
Yeah. A genuine vintage car from 1927, an Austin 12.4 Clifton Tourer. And it really set the scene on this little show, not least because they brought along this rather special valve radio, which miraculously seemed to be picking up 1920s transmissions all day, with uninterrupted music from the likes of Al Jolson. Apparently the car was converted during the war into a flatbed truck, but it survived all that and has been with its current owner for getting on for 50 years. That concludes our look at the Kithill show. If you'd like to be notified of future uploads, please hit the subscribe button, which should appear on your screen just about now.